with heavy weights for building muscle and targeted exercises for adding detail. These are the top 10 leg exercises recommended by Fit Media's expert trainers to help you build thick, powerful legs. Starting with the most important exercise for adding strength and mass to the legs: squats. Squats are a compound exercise, working quads, glutes, and hamstrings. Bar resting on the traps. Plant the feet, toes pointing slightly outwards. Chest up, deep breath. Hold the breath. The movement starts as you push the hips back, like you're sitting down, keeping the chest up. Knees come out over the toes. Come up again, pushing through the heels. Breathe out when you reach the top. Back straight. Make sure the bar comes down in a straight line over the heels. Squats are often used at the start of a workout to fire up the whole of the lower body. Advanced trainers use squats to build up to heavy weights, protecting their knees and lower back. Focusing on correct form to increase their gains. If you're a beginner, consider using a Smith machine for your squat. The frame helps with stabilization. But if you're worried about balance, you can also squat using dumbbells, keeping the center of gravity low. Many trainers find that they benefit from elevating the heels for their squat. Depending on the structure of the body, raising the heels can help go deeper into the squat and help keep the back straight. Here, our trainer is using a rack for additional safety. Squat variations. Goblet squat. Good for beginners because it helps you keep the spine upright. With the weight in front of the body, putting more emphasis on the quad. Front squat. Again, weight is forward of the body, resting on the front delts. The bar allowing more weight than if you were using dumbbells. Sumo squat. Wide stance, targeting inner thighs for stability, as well as glutes. Overall, what sets the squat above all other leg exercises is the ability to add weight. Squats are highly functional, use multiple muscles, and have the potential for building up to heavy weight, making them the most important leg day exercise. At number 1 on our list. Next, the other big compound movement for lower body: deadlift. A complex exercise, engaging multiple muscles down the back of the body, all working together, from hamstrings and glutes to lower and upper back. Start with the feet hip distance apart, bar close to the shins. Lower the hips by bending the knees. Grip the bar, chest up, shoulders back. Push up through the heels. Hips come up and forward, shoulders up and back, keeping the bar close to the shins. Lock out at the top by squeezing the glutes, pinning the shoulder blades back. And down the same way, spine straight. Bar comes to a full stop on the floor before the next rep. Like the squat, the deadlift lets advanced lifters build up to heavy weights. Variations include the sumo deadlift, with feet wide apart, pointing out at an angle, working more on the stabilizing muscles of the inner thighs, as well as glutes. If your gym has this kind of bar, It's called a hex bar or trap bar. You may find it helps keep the weight over the heels, making it easier to keep the spine upright. Good if you're worried about lower back. Overall, deadlift is one of the most powerful all-round exercises in the gym, ideal as a starter for leg day, engaging multiple muscles and allowing progression to heavy weights. At number 2 on our list of top leg day exercises. Next, machine press. Using the machine makes this exercise less complex than squats and deadlifts, giving more support, less risk to the lower back, while still allowing heavy weights. The angle of the legs can cause damage to the knee joint if you lock out, so don't fully straighten the legs. Keep moving with control. The main benefit over squats is that you can change the position of the feet to shift the emphasis on different muscles. Standard placement in the middle with feet shoulder width apart works quads, hamstrings, and glutes pretty much equally. Placing the feet high on the plate puts more effort on the back of the legs, hamstrings, and glutes. Feet low on the plate works more on the quads. Some trainers use a single leg variation. These are good for fixing muscle imbalances, also engaging the stabilizing muscles of the hips. But perhaps the main benefit of using the machine is having more control. So it's ideal for changing tempo. For example, by moving from very slow reps to fast reps. With greater control, the option for using heavy weights, and protection for the lower back, machine press is at number 3 on our trainer's recommended list of leg day exercises. After the big compound movements, time for the top isolation exercises for leg day. And first, for quads, leg extensions. Working the 4 muscles of the quads, it's a simple movement. Knees in line with the pivot point of the machine. Keeping control, locking, and squeezing on the extension. This is an isolation exercise, so not too heavy. Instead, go for more reps. Vary this exercise by changing tempo. Standard version, slow and controlled. Moving to very slow reps to increase time under tension. Making the muscles work harder. Extending the lockout with a long hold. That's gonna burn. Or using fast reps for explosive power. Leg extensions are also ideal for techniques like rest pause. First, reaching exhaustion. Resting for a few seconds. Then pushing out those extra reps that boost your gains. With the emphasis on isolating the quads, the biggest muscles in the legs, leg extensions come in at number 4 on our list of recommended leg exercises. Next, to the back of the leg, hamstring curl. Isolation exercise, hitting just one muscle, the hamstring, bending at the knee joint. Usually done like this, lying flat on a machine. With a weight you can control. Slow movement. Squeeze at the top. The seated version takes a little more time to set the pads correctly, but the effect on the muscle is pretty much the same. There's also a standing version, using the leg extension machine facing inwards, but again, this needs to be set up correctly. But the most important variations on hamstring curls are about tempo, using techniques like pulses and holds to increase time under tension, different ways to exhaust the muscle. Because they help create a balance between the front and back of the legs, hamstring curls make top 5 in our list of recommended leg day exercises. Leg day hits the whole of the lower body. So before the final 5 exercises, we asked our experts for the best advice on warm-up and stretching. A good warm-up is essential, like standing squats, getting blood and oxygen into the muscles, or lunges, lifting the heart rate, warming up the muscles and joints, helping prevent injury. Your warm-up can also include light weights and dynamic stretching, like this hip opener. Dynamic stretching means the muscles are moving, which is fine before your workout. But save your static stretching until after your workout. Holding a few stretches in a fixed position for 10 to 15 seconds as part of your post-workout cool-down, helping recovery and reducing soreness the next day. Hack squats are another option for your squatting movement. Hitting quads, hamstrings, and glutes together. The main advantage of the hack squat machine is safety, with the pad keeping the back straight and guiding the movement in a straight line. For the standard squatting movement, feet are hip distance apart, pushing through the heels as you come up. Having the feet slightly narrower, lifting the heels slightly, puts more emphasis on the quads. This is something you can do safely on the hack squat because the machine is there for support. Hack squats are good for new lifters who are building up their strength and technique. Advanced lifters tend to go with a barbell squat to start their workout. But they often move to hack squats later in the session. For techniques like this, doing only the middle part of the squatting movement to increase time under tension. The safety aspects of the hack squat and the variations available put this exercise at number 6 on our list. Next, lunges, a highly functional exercise for the whole of the lower body. Key muscles are quads at the front of the leg and glutes behind. Going nice and low, but not letting the back knee touch the floor. A forward lunge, leg coming in front of you, puts the emphasis on the quads. A reverse lunge, leg coming behind, works more on the glutes. Having the weight up on the shoulders makes balancing more challenging. But if you prefer a heavier weight, it's best to use dumbbells for a low center of gravity. The walking lunge also brings in more stabilizing muscles, as well as the core. Although they're not considered as one of the big mass-building exercises for legs, lunges are tough. Plus, they're highly functional, helping with balance, coordination, and preventing injury. Which is why our trainers will always include a lunging exercise as part of their leg workout, earning lunges the number 7 spot on our list. Not to be confused with the standard deadlift, the Romanian deadlift specifically targets hamstrings. So it's another exercise for the back of the legs, also known as stiff leg deadlift. Keeping the back straight, it's a hinge at the hips, just a slight bend in the knee, coming down far enough to feel the stretch in the hamstrings. While the hamstring curl is an isolation exercise, focusing only on the hamstring, the Romanian deadlift works hamstrings in conjunction with glutes and spinal erectors. so it's a more functional exercise and a great alternative to the regular hamstring curl. Placed at number 8 on our list. Bulgarian split squats are not the most common leg day exercise, but they can be a useful addition to your squatting program. It's a single leg movement, the other leg raised behind you, coming down with the front leg until the thigh is parallel to the floor, keeping the front knee forward over the toes. As a squatting exercise, the Bulgarian split squat works more on the glutes and hamstrings, as well as balance and core. But what's the advantage of training each leg separately? Most leg exercises use both legs together, so if one leg is weaker, the other will compensate. Working single leg like this allows you to address any imbalances. Although it's not one of the big essential movements for leg day, Bulgarian split squat is a good variation to include in your workout from time to time. Placed at number 9 on our list. Finally, no leg day should be without a calf exercise to complete the overall look of the leg. Standard exercise is a calf raise, usually done on a machine like this. Good stretch at the bottom. Good squeeze at the top. There's also a seated version on the calf machine with the same movement. If your gym doesn't have these machines, you can also do calf raises on a plate. As the calves are a relatively small muscle, it's not a good idea to pile on too much weight. But you can make this exercise more challenging by finishing off with some fast reps, or adding a hold for a count of 5. So, that's your list of top 10 exercises for leg day, recommended by our expert trainers. For more on leg day, check out Fit Media's full explainers on correct form for squats and deadlifts.